Hey guys, it's me, Mario, and today we're going to continue Score The Winged Stallion. Chapter 9 Fight to the End. How's everyone doing today? Hope you're doing well. Score's hoof crunched onto Tom's shield, but he kept his arm firm and the wood held. Then the Score whined in pain. Tom peered around from behind his shield and saw an arrow sticking out of Score's flank. "Elena!" he cried. His friend had left Seth's side and was hurrying towards them, stringing another arrow. "Run, Tom!" she shouted. "I can't hold him back for long." Tom looked around. There must be something he could do. Elena unleashed a second arrow, which embedded itself under Score's mane. The beast backed off again, but already the first arrow had dropped out, and the skin had healed. Tom's eyes fell on a reed-filled swamp at the edge of the clearing, and an idea formed in his head. He thought about the way that Elena had whispered to Storm's ear. Then he remembered a story his uncle had once told him about horse whisperers. People who could calm whole herds of stampeding animals had blown through campus grasses. Perhaps the same thing would work with these reeds. Hold on now. There we go. People who could calm whole herds of stampeding animals by blowing through campus grasses. Perhaps the same thing would work on these reeds. Tom scrambled towards the swamp. "Stop him!" shouted Seth. Tom looked back and saw that Elena was pulling another arrow from her quiver. She only had 3 left. The swamp was green and the water was as thick as tar. Tom strode into the center of the reeking pond. The warm sludge swallowed his legs up to his knee. He tugged at the nearest reed, wincing as the sharp edge cut into his hand. He pulled again, and the reed came free. "I've got no arrows left," shouted Elena. Score was thundering towards her. The music is too loud. Tom placed the reed between his hands and blew into his palms. A note like a shrill scream rang out across the rainforest clearing. Elena dropped her bow and crouched on the floor, clutching her hands to her ears. Epos gave a cry and sank her head into the side of the nest. Score stopped a few paces from Elena and lowered his head. His eyes sparkled, but no longer sent their lightning bolts into the foliage. "It's working," thought Tom. He took a lungful of air and blew again. Score shook his white mane as though getting rid of a noisy nuisance fly. Then his eyelids dropped and his green tail hung limply. "No!" shouted Seth. "Curse you both!" Ugh, ad. Tom gave a final blow on the reed, and Scourse's head sank to his chest. He stood completely still. "Tom," whispered Helena, pointing. "Your sword." There it was, resting at the base of a tree. Tom dropped the reed and ran to it. Holding the weapon in his hand, he approached Score. The mighty beast towered above him. Could Score really be asleep? The feathers on his wings didn't so much as stir. Hold on. There we go. I can't really read when there's singing and music, so. Doesn't need to take a breath, anyway. Let's see, where was I? Holding the weapon in his hand, he approached Score. The mighty beast towered above him. Could Score really be asleep? The feathers on his wings didn't so much as stir. "Be careful," whispered Elena. "I'll have to climb onto his back," said Tom. "I can't reach his head from here." "No!" shouted Seth. "Wake up, Score!" The beast's eyes shot open, but Tom was quick. He hurled his sword through the air with all his strength. It spiraled towards Score. The hilt smashing into his head. The winged stallion reared on his hind legs, his mighty wings unfurling and filling the sky with their purple gleam as he shrieked with pain. Scourse's hooves did not fall back down to the ground. He remained frozen, legs raised and mouth gaping like a statue. "What's happening?" gasped Elena. A green glow began to creep up Scourse's back legs. It was as though the forest was reaching out and claiming the beast. Tom had seen this already with Torgor the Minotaur. As green crystals began to form over the winged stallion's body, Tom leaped out of the way. A giant emerald prison closed over the beast. Elena gave a low whistle of awe. When Epos sounded a warning squawk, "Quick!" shouted Elena. "Seth is escaping!" Tom saw Seth running away, his hands still tied behind his back. Another vine, broken in the center, trailed from his ankles. Elena chased after him and had almost caught their enemy when she tripped and fell into the dirt. Seth took his chance. He dived into the shadows between the trees and was gone. "He must have cut himself free while I was helping you," said Elena. "I'm sorry." It's not your fault, said Tom. Placing a hand on Elena's shoulder, he stared into the forest. Though I'm sure that's not the last we've seen of Seth. Together they walked back to Skor. What's that? Said Elena, bending down to pick up something among the long grasses. It was the green jewel from the winged stallion tooth. Another token for your belt, Tom. The gemstone slipped easily into one of the 5 remaining notches of the belt. I wonder what it does, said Tom. A pitiful wailing interrupted them. Pause, said Elena. The flamebird was resting her head on the side of the nest. Short, rasping breath made her feathers shudder. She stared at Tom pleadingly through half-closed glossy eyes. Quick, said Tom urgently. We have to help her. She's dying. And that was chapter 9 of Skor the Winged Stallion. Fight to the end. Hope you can join me next time when I read chapter 10. A race against time. Good book. Was surprised to find out that there is a character in that book that I have never seen before or heard from before. But he is from another series Adam Blade did. Quest, I think it was called. I don't know. I think it was called Quest. But anyway, hope you like, subscribe, and hit the bell if you're interested in more Beast Quest videos. And maybe some Dragonian lore. Maybe. One day I will make another one. Hopefully. I don't know though. Well, hope you like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more Beast Quest. Right. See you guys in the next one. Bye.